Hello there, Dino Geeks. Welcome back to the Dinogeek channel. Hey, if you hadn't seen it, there's a video on here all about a great big giveaway. I'm giving away a pile of stuff from out of my collection, and I will send it to anyone, anywhere in the world. Now, it might cost enough on international shipping. I only do this once outside the US, but it's up, so look for that video. Hey, this morning, I'm not filming in my crowded office. Today, I'm actually filming down here from the floor in the big dinosaur room. That's what I call this place, here in the front of the house. If you didn't know, interesting fact, maybe, I do pastor a church. It's right next door. And this is the parsonage, the home that they provide for the pastor. And I will bet you it's the only time there has been a life-size Tyrannosaurus Rex skull or a room packed with dinosaurs. Now, today's video is all about a different type of collectible. Today I wanted to share with you wearable collectibles. Now, of course, you can wear pins and you can wear clothing and ties and tennis shoes and all those things. But that's just one outfit at a time. That's only a few pins, because pins tend to wear your clothes down, right? This is the story about the greatest jacket a Dinogeek ever owned. As you can see, I was fortunate enough to meet many different paleo folks. That's Scott Sampson and Catherine Forrester, and a picture I was told to never show, but I think enough years have gone by now, about 25, I can show these pictures. There's a story behind that. You'll have to DM me if you want to know more. And then here's where I wore this coat to Illinois, to the Burpee Museum for their festival, and saw Dr. Bob again for the second or third time in person. That was at SVP in Montana. And this gentleman, who studied dinosaur pathologies and was had an article in Discover magazine. I believe his name is Martin, Dr. Martin. Shoot, I'll have to put it in the comments, I forget. Now, that Dapper Dan right there, that's Russell Hawley, who is at the Tate Museum at Casper College. Fantastic artist and speaker. That fellow right there is John Lansendorf. Some of you have his book, The Lansendorf Collection. Cool guy. This fellow down here is Charlie McGrady. The video I showed you from Missouri with all the life-size dinosaurs, those are his creation. And then some of you all know this guy down here. That is Lewis Ray. We were on a 2-day road trip prior to SVP in 2001. Really nice guy. I got a chance to interview him for Prehistoric Times magazine and receive some art from him. I'll have to show you sometime. But the thing that's in common in all those pictures is that coat. I had the world's best mother-in-law. All of these patches that you see here, she had sewn onto that Letterman's jacket. She's a great, great person. I miss her. Best mother-in-law a guy could have. But I digress. She sewed all of these on that jacket, and I had that jacket for years, but I could not find a cleaners that would clean that jacket. They wouldn't take a chance on all the stitching and all the patches. So yeah, I wore it without it being washed for several years. And at some point, it was time to acknowledge that it had taken on its own particular funk. So we retired the jacket, and my mother-in-law, who had hand-stitched all these on there, or machine-stitched, I forget, she carefully tore out all the stitches and removed all of these patches. Now, some of these I picked up in person, like the Burpee Museum I picked up when I was there for their dinosaur festival. And the Morrison I picked up when I was at the Morrison. But like the Disney dinosaur patch, which I understand was a crew patch for folks who worked on the film, that was an eBay find. Dinosaur National Monument was an eBay find. Museum of the Rockies, picked that up when I was at SVP 2001 in Bozeman. The Fruta Police Department, eBay. Dinosaur City, eBay. Several of these eBay. Now, I've been to Dinosaur Valley State Park in Glen Rose, where you have the footprints, but I didn't get a patch. And I've been to Rocky Hill, Connecticut, but I didn't get a patch. And when I was at the AMNH the one time I went while they were renovating the halls in '92. I didn't get a patch. And this really cool AMNH Gobi Desert Expedition patch, eBay, Boy Scout ones, eBay, Jurassic Park, Lower Valley Fire District, the Academy of Natural Sciences, eBay. Most of these were eBay finds. I was working on just making this jacket the coolest. There are no pictures, as you can tell, of the back of the jacket, but that's where most of these were. Dino Riders, that was a special patch you got by mailing off for it, off a side panel, I think, of a cereal box. Sinclair and the Perot Museum in Dallas, those were all eBay. Dino Fest, Sioux, Naples Police, Dinosaur Ridge, Natural Science. What's interesting is that when I was at SVP in 2001, a young lady came up to me and she pointed to this patch on my jacket and she said, "How did you get that?" And I said, "eBay." And she said, "That's weird." She said, "I worked at the museum and that was the patch the janitors had on their uniforms many years before." Now, mind you, SVP for me was 25 years ago, so I don't know how many years prior that the janitorial staff was wearing those. You've got the Royal Terrell, you got the Tate Geological Museum, you've got an overnight camp at a museum there in Boston, which I've been to. Didn't get the patch at the time. This one right here, I didn't realize was Air Force. And at SVP, a guy came up and he said, "How did you get that patch?" And I said, "Well, eBay." And he said, "I just carved a rock petroglyph of that outside of the base." Real place. I didn't know what the design was or anything. I just knew it was a dinosaur and I liked it. And you've got Lowe's Build and Grow Buildosaurus patch, and the Smithsonian, which I have yet to go to. And as I collected these and as I shared my account on Instagram, which most of you know me from, some folks were kind enough to add patches. I'd like to thank Sawyer Trail for sending me that patch. And I do believe my pal Ryan Croft picked that up for me when he went to the museum. I think that's where that came from. My last trip, to the Tate Geological Museum, I got this patch. I don't know, one day put on a coat. And then this one, this is special. I picked this up in LA a couple years ago when I was there for the premiere of Why Dinosaurs, the film that I have a small part in. It's now on YouTube. So if you didn't get enough dinosaurs this week from Netflix in the series, which I think was pretty good. I'm a little surprised they used the term thagomizer. And then again, I'm not. But if you can't get enough dinosaurs, go over and find Why Dinosaurs on YouTube and enjoy some more dino fun. Thank you guys for coming and for watching, supporting, liking, subscribing. I'm going to continue to bring to you all things dinosaur from out of the big room. And then behind those shelves, there's another room and the many, many things that are in storage. This shelf over here, just last minute, you see some things there I already shared. Artist Spotlight, that shelf, I've removed things for another artist video. Most of the things over here were done by various artists, and those will be shared. So, hey, stick around. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.